From Minot State Campus, home to the KMSU studios, and many proud student athletes to whenever and wherever you guys are consuming daily Minot sports information, this is the Minot Sports Podcast, a production of KMSU TV and Radio. We are back for another episode of the MSU Athletes series. Just this past weekend, Minot State Athletics had their first doses of Media Day. Getting it all started was the soccer team, and then following them was MSU Volleyball. Joining the podcast here in the studios is, in fact, a member of that MSU Volleyball squad that composes of 6 seniors. She just happens to be one of them. Please welcome beside me, Karli Koza. And Karli, thank you for being on the Minot Sports Podcast today. You're a senior on the volleyball team, but also just kind of tell us a little bit about yourself, both school accolades and ambitions, as well as, some volleyball info and what brought you here to Minot State.
Well, first of all, thank you for having me. I really appreciate it. I am Karli Koza on the volleyball team. I'm a libero. I'm a senior, and I'm actually from Southern California. And what brought me here is, honestly, when my coach contacted me, I had never even heard of Minot ever. But, it wasn't a thing that I was going to shoot down because I did want something new in my life, and I figured that this would be, the perfect place to do it. And I came and visited. I loved the campus. I loved the team and the culture that we created here. So that's really what brought me to Minot. As far as, my ambitions and everything going on, academically, I am a criminal justice major, and I'm minoring in law and legal studies.
Yeah, definitely a good course of study there. And, sometimes, the first offer, is just too good to pass up. And we're glad that you came here. And, Karli, I just want to open up by asking, although the tough news coming out from the NSIC not too long ago, but back to school here technically tonight, but most start tomorrow. How's the summer been for you, and what is the makeup of Karli Koza's world looking like right now?
Summer, with the pandemic and everything, back in California, things were really strict. We couldn't do much. A lot of things were shut down. So even in that time, I was still preparing for season in ways that I could. I was working out at home, trying to touch the ball and just kind of stay in shape in preparation for season. So during that time, that's really what my main focus was, and just trying to get internships and everything set up because I will be graduating in December this year. So it was a very hectic summer, even though it kind of wasn't at the same time. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's the final year for you, and of course with no volleyball, but what do you still hope to accomplish and finish strong in your college career?
Well, aside from volleyball, I do have a 21 credit semester, so I'm very busy, and I am interning this semester as well. So I really just want to finish strong academically, and I also just want to make it the best semester so far. I know without volleyball it's going to be tough, but I know I have my friends and my teammates that I'm still going to be involved with during the season. I'm still going to go help out at practices that I can and community service, and hopefully still be a mentor to the ones below in the position that I play as well.
Yeah, certainly building up that resume. I will admit on here that volleyball isn't one of my strong suits, as actually so are a few others, but you told us your position. What do you think is your best asset to the team? What do you feel is a real strength that you can point out?
I think personally for me, I'm a very good communicator and leader. I've always had a voice and been actually loud, and I know how to encourage, but also do take constructive criticism and give it as well. I just think that I personally know how to lead and to encourage others to want to do better without them taking it personally I'm attacking them or any way. I think that's a pretty big strong suit for me, and people normally come to me for advice or if they need help, and I feel that's a really good thing to have when you need a leader on the court.
Oh yeah, communication, certainly. That's a good trait to have. And having witnessed your 3 years go by in what almost feels like a flash for anyone, what is it like playing with this group of girls?
Well, it's been crazy. Coming in as a freshman, obviously it's pretty intimidating at first because it's just you're 18 years old playing with girls who could be 21, 22. So it was a big change, but I think I really earned my spot, and I think I earned a lot of respect from the older girls as well as the girls that I came in with, and I've had the best experience with all of them. I don't regret anything. I think that we are so close and we've bonded so much, and I wouldn't trade it for the world.
That's wonderful to hear, certainly. Yeah. How much of the past volleyball senior classes that you were teammates with help you up to this point, and what veteran or senior leadership do you think you can provide for the younger Beavers on the team? I know you kind of touched up on that a little bit, but just continue on.
With that, for as me being like a mentor, I mean, the older girls when I came in were always encouraging of me, and they never put me down because I was younger than them. They never used the whole freshman thing against me because of like my work ethic and everything. So for me now being a senior, to the younger girls, I always just want to encourage them to work their hardest that they can and to always feel comfortable to like ask for help or come to me if they need something or ask me about the game, like how would you approach this or like this and this. I would just really want them to feel comfortable and kind of look at me as someone that inspires them.
Being a teammate, certainly on and off the court, I feel like that I talk so much about recruiting classes and newcomers with coaches, but I just might be overthinking about that. But you're a player, a teammate, so I just want to get it from a player's perspective. What's it like being able to witness new incoming freshmen to the team every year? Is it exciting to see, or how do you look at it?
It's very exciting to see because we were all in their shoes at one point, and you know the nerves and the excitement and like being anxious and everything, but it's really good to see them and then welcome them and see them kind of grow and get out of their comfort zone and really just like dive into what college is and what college athletics is. Sometimes it can be nerve-wracking because you really don't know how someone can respond to like the rigor and how hard it actually is mentally and physically, as well as emotionally at certain points. But I personally love having freshmen come. I've always hosted them at my house when they come on visits.
Oh, there you go.
And really kind of just introduce them to like the college lifestyle and really try to bond with them right away so that they know wherever I'm at is a safe space for them. So I like the process of recruiting kids and bringing them in.
Oh, yeah, getting them acclimated right away,
Yeah.
too. While we're on the topic of new players and freshmen of MSU Volleyball, banking on what I know off the top of my head, last year came Caitlyn Messner from Minot High, and now this year with Boeckel and Annie Folden from RE Deemers. Let's also not forget about Kennedy Harris, who's going to play basketball as well. Although spent a year at Northern State, she's still familiar with North Dakota, having went to high school in Mandan and being a student athlete down there. How cool is it to see the team having a little extra spice of local connections in there?
It's awesome because normally we've only had maybe one or two Minot natives like coming to play for us. It's always been people from everywhere else. So it's kind of nice to like have somebody who's been here and like now that they can represent Minot really at the school and on the team. It's pretty awesome. Like I'm really looking forward to seeing them and seeing what they can bring to the table.
Does it help? I think you kind of touched on this already, but does it help to have the Minot kids in there when you're like talking about the city or just knowing that there's some more familiarity around there?
Yes, it 100% does because we were all out of state, so we really don't know anything, but they kind of know the ins and outs of the place, so it's nice to have them as well.
How satisfying is it to build new connections every year with these new recruits coming in, not just the local kids, but also the other ones coming in from out of state?
I absolutely love it because it's nice to have people around from everywhere that are your friends, and they're going to be forever friends for you. In college, you meet the most amazing people, you live with them, and they become your family. And it's just awesome to be able to build that connection with so many different people with so many different stories and backgrounds, and just really have that connection, and you know that they're always going to have your back.
Moving on to the coaching staff here for a little bit. I don't want to butcher his name, but Ryan, he was just recently hired as a new assistant. Do you have any insight on that? And just tell us, what do you think of the move?
I know that he is an extremely experienced, he was a player as well. So I know I've only met him like once or twice just because things have been hectic with COVID and everything. But I know he has a lot of knowledge and you know, we're really looking forward to being able to work with him.
So what is it like seeing that from a player standpoint, someone new coming in when it's not a player, but rather a coach or an executive?
Sometimes it's exciting, but at the same time, it can be like nerve-wracking because you're used to a certain coach. Like for example, our coach from last year, our assistant coach, Karli Koza, and he was also a defensive coach, and he was amazing. And he ended up having to transfer this year to a different school. And so losing him was kind of like rough because we all had a great player-coach relationship with him, but also like friend to friend. He was always there for us and could talk to us about anything. So, you know, losing him and getting someone new, it's like we have to rebuild that connection again. But honestly, like Ryan seems amazing, and I'm looking forward to really working with him too.
Yeah, sometimes things happen, and coaches just may have to change places, but you already have that connection built in with the other assistant coach, and
right.
you know, it certainly helps on their standpoint, you know, just to the encouragement from the players, like, hey, this school is getting a good coach, certainly. But moving on to in the classroom, when you finish up Minot State, what impressions or legacy do you hope to leave behind, not just for your teammates, but also working hard in the classroom?
Well, for the team and for like academically, I just want to be able to leave a legacy saying that like it's possible to be successful in the classroom as well as on the court. As far as like my seasons and everything have gone and records, like I just want to be able to just really push and tell like the younger girls that you can also do what I did. You can also, as long as you push yourself and you work and you stay disciplined, you're going to get all the success and you're going to finish strong. And I think that's just something that I really want to push because I know a lot of girls and men also think it's really hard to balance everything. And it really is. But as long as you stay strict and disciplined, then you can easily do it and do it well.
That answer kind of bridges into my next question for what advice would you have for your teammates following in your footsteps as they go further into their volleyball careers?
I think it's just extremely important to go in with the attitude of wanting to get better every single day. And we're in a conference that there is no easy game to win. Sometimes when in high school and club, like there's a team you play and you know that you can beat them. Here, it's every single game is a challenge. So I just want also them to go into it with a mindset of we are going to win and not with like, oh, well, they're too hard, we can't beat them. That's in volleyball, upsets happen all the time. And I just really want to stress that to them that if you work hard, you're going to be successful and you're going to win. Or it's going to be close, and then you're this much closer and this much closer to like taking the win and bringing it back home. I just think having that winning mindset changes everything.
Yeah, like you said, all about having the correct mindset. But for the future of MSU Volleyball, what do you hope to see from them looking on?
I really just want to see us just really take risks and really just put it all out in the court and never play it safe. I think from when I got here, we really flipped the program around and defensively as well as offensively, and our team chemistry just got stronger and stronger, and the trust, and there was less drama, and I just want that to keep progressing once I leave. And when I can look back at it and see all of their success, that'll make me extremely happy because I believe as a senior class set the tone for how we want the team to be, and I just want them to be able to carry that on after we leave.
Yeah, all about the proud alumni for sure.
Yeah.
You saw firsthand going from the blue and green seats to the all red seats in the dome. Just kind of tell us, how beautiful is that to play in what seemed like a fresh atmosphere like that?
It was phenomenal. When I walked in and saw it, I was like, I cannot believe that we get to be in here and we get to perform and play in front of our family, friends, peers, like, you know, everybody. It just made it all worth it, everything worth it. Like, we really get to be blessed and playing in a beautiful arena like this. And it just drives you to want to even do better because you look good and you're playing in a place that looks good. So it was amazing.
Yeah, absolutely just amazing, the view, indeed. One of the prominent questions I ask everyone on here, if you could quarantine, since it was made famous, if you can quarantine with any famous athlete or celebrity in the world, who would it be and why would you pick them?
That is a really big question. A celebrity or an athlete?
Yeah, anyone. I know we've had a Michael Phelps. We've had Shane Ledecky just said Urban Meyer from Ohio State, Nick Saban. Anyone off the top of your head that comes to mind?
I don't know, like specifically like athletes, celebrities, I could easily choose one. But like I would say for regular celebrities, I really love Taylor Swift, and I would just love to just sit with her and hear about how her brain works. I can't really think of like athletes right now. I don't know. That's a good question. I've never been asked that before.
Hey, yeah. I mean, you know, we can expand to celebrities. Yeah. I know I've always asked either athletes or coaches, but hey, you know, nothing wrong with celebrities. But Karli, thank you so much for being on the podcast today. It was certainly a pleasure having you.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
That was Karli Koza of MSU Volleyball joining the Minot Sports Podcast. Karli, is there anything else you'd like to say, quickly mention?
Just, you know, let's make this year the best that we can. Like, continue to push, work hard, like, in the times that we can on the court and, you know, on the field and in the classroom. I just think it's important to really keep going and not let this, you know, stop us. Let's just really, like, push and make it the best year that we can.
Yep, push forward. And if you'd like, where could people find you on social media, if possible?
Oh, yeah, you could follow me on Instagram at Karli_Malia. It's the same thing on Twitter as well. And Facebook, you can just look up my name. It's all on there.
Perfect. I will also have those taken care of for the usernames to make them visible when posting the final products on the social media pages. But once again, thank you, Karli, from MSU Volleyball. This has been episode 2 of the new MSU Athletes series, where we go out and recognize all the student athletes here on campus and all of the hard work that they've put in. Just wanted to remind you guys that the Minot Sports Podcast is a production of KMSU TV and Radio, with special thanks to our KMSU in-house supporters/sponsors and Joshua Strong Photography and the MSU Red and Green. Josh is constantly on the move, always getting the best photography shot he can, and while always pledging to get better in his craft. While the MSU Red and Green newspaper will always keep Minot State students informed of the top stories going on around campus grounds. That is all for this one. Happy first week back at school. I hope to catch some of you guys around campus or online, whenever it may be. Stay safe and healthy out there. Again, big thanks to Karli Koza. You guys have a good day, and I'll talk to you guys later.